To contextualize the Texas relocation scheme, one must examine my evolving and often paradoxical views on race and emancipation. I possessed a lifelong moral aversion to the institution of slavery. In my personal reflections in 1854, I wrote that justifying human bondage based on skin color or intellect was logically flawed and socially destructive, warning white Americans that a rubric based on skin tone or intellect could turn the social tables against them. In an 1847 legal notation, I asserted that each person is naturally entitled to do as he pleases with himself and the fruits of his labor. During my famous 1858 speech in Chicago, I articulated a consistent disdain for slavery, but separated myself from radical abolitionists who focused intensely on the social circumstances endured by enslaved people, stating, "I have always hated slavery, I think as much as any abolitionist." In debating Stephen A. Douglas, and throughout my anti-slavery career, I framed slavery as a moral fault, but rarely illustrated the treatment of Negroes as a direct moral violation. Instead, the violations specified by myself tended to be the negative impacts the institution had on white laborers. In discussing poverty among white men, I recalled that my father's move from Kentucky to Indiana was chiefly on account of the difficulty, partly on account of slavery. As journalist John L. Scripps wrote in an 1860 campaign biography, working-class men like Thomas Lincoln, my father, daily experienced the fact that slavery oppressed the poorer classes, making their poverty and social disrepute permanent. I echoed this sentiment publicly in August 1862, lamenting the effects upon white men growing out of the institution of slavery, white men cutting one another's throats. Admittedly, I believed that white society in America suffered from the social presence of Negroes in America. While I recognized the baseline humanity of people of African descent, he subscribed to the 19th century views of white racial superiority, making it clear that white Americans, in his estimation, should hold social and political advantages. In my fourth debate with Douglas, I declared, "I am in favor of the race to which I belong having the superior position." In public addresses on racism, I routinely separated the political destinies of the two groups, asserting that, "On this broad continent, not a single man of your race is made equal of a single man of ours."